12 years old, and she's also our hardest working donkey. She will come in here to the well house, and when the time comes for her to get onto the wheel, on she'll get, and off she'll go. I won't have to do a thing. So it certainly makes a very pleasant change from working with our boy donkeys. And talking about our boy donkeys, they're down in the field today. They're having a day off. They were working yesterday, and they are Jack and Jim Bob. And Jack is 15 years old, and would you believe is the half brother of this one here. But if you saw Jack and Jill together, you would know they're related. And Jill, as we've mentioned, small, dark brown, whereas Jack's grey and about average size for a donkey. He's also the proud holder of the title, Carisbrook's laziest donkey. I'm afraid to say Jack and work do not go together. I can have a demonstration with Jack, and it can take me half an hour to get my breath back afterwards, because I would have done all Jack's work for him. Having said that, Jack is a bit of a character, isn't he, Jill? Yes. He's a bit of a born comedian, Jack, so if you do see a Jack demonstration, you may not see much work get done, but you have a jolly good laugh instead. Last but not least, we have Jim Bob. And at 16, Jim Bob is our oldest donkey. He's a very handsome donkey, is Jim. In fact, we know him as the George Clooney of donkeys. And that's because Jim used to be a show donkey before coming here to work our wheel. Now, when I say Jim Bob's our oldest donkey at 16, that's no age at all for a donkey. Donkeys can live to 60, and the average in the UK is around about 40. So our Jim, like all of our donkeys, is a bit of a spring chicken, really. Right, those are the donkeys. This is the wheel. It's 428 years old. This wheel is built of solid oak, and it weighs 1.5 tons. What's not original about it is the wooden floor. And a wooden floor was put onto this wheel at the back end of the 17th century when the castle decided to switch from having men work the wheel to donkeys. Men would work the ladder-on arrangement, clambering to turn the wheel, and obviously that wouldn't really suit a donkey's hoofs, so they put in a wooden floor. Now, when donkeys started working this wheel, in fact, I shouldn't use the word donkeys, it was a donkey, and it was back then in the late 1690s, my goodness, that poor donkey had to work very hard indeed. And in fact, the donkey was working 6 to 12 hours a day on this wheel, and the reason why that donkey was working so hard was that this well here was the sole source of water for an entire garrison of men and women. It gave them all their drinking water, cooking water, washing water, all that water we just simply turn on the tap for, that water was coming out of this well. So to get the water out, the poor donkey had to work very hard indeed. Now today, our Jill will be probably be doing about 4 demonstrations, which means that the sum total of Jill's work for the day will add up to just under 4 minutes. Poor Jill, she looks tired already. And in fact, we've estimated in August, which is our peak, you know, when we really are doing demonstration after demonstration, we've estimated that not one of our donkeys will do more than 1 hour's work a week. It's a great job if you can get it as a Carisbrook donkey. As we often say about our donkeys, don't we, Joe? They're not so much overworked, but they are slightly overweight. Yes. Right, that's the wheel, onto the well. Now, this isn't the only well in the castle. It's a bit early, but if you had a chance to do a bit of exploring and being up to the top keep, there you will find the original castle well. It was dug in about 1070. It's almost as deep as this one, but it's got one big flaw, and that is it only collects rainwater. So if you had that very rare occurrence called a hot, dry summer, that well up there is going to run dry. And sure enough, the year was 1136. It had been a hot, dry summer. And it was that summer, that year, that King Stephen decided to attack, lay siege to Carisbrook Castle. So the king, he turned up with his army, and there were the defenders of the castle up there in the keep, looking down at the king and his army, some people down in the caves. And then they had a look down their well. And oh dear, there was no water in that well. So that was it. They surrendered. Not an arrow was fired. King Stephen marched in, took Carisbrook Castle. And why? Because without water to sustain them, how could the defenders of the castle take on a king and his army? Answer, they couldn't. So King Stephen marches in, and he's not silly, because the very first thing he does is grab 2 of the prisoners he's taken and sets them to work to dig this well. And it takes those 2 prisoners a year They dig down and down. 161 feet they go, 49 metres down they dig till they get to the groundwater that lies all the way down there. By groundwater, I mean water, it's fallen from the sky, it's rain, it's hit the surface of the earth, and then slowly but surely filtered, trickled its way through the earth, through the chalk, so it's come to rest on this bed of waterproof, watertight clay. And there's a lot of it down there. There's about 35 to 40 feet of water down there. It's clean water, it's drinkable water, it's constantly replenished water. And how do I know there's so much water down there? Because every 2 weeks or so, someone from the Environment Agency comes around here to the castle to measure the depth of this well. And by doing so, they can then ascertain the overall groundwater level for the entire Isle of Wight. So you could say, if we ever have that miracle of miracles called a hot, dry summer, you could say it's this well here that dictates whether or not the island is going to suffer a hosepipe ban or not. So you'll be glad to hear a miracle did occur a couple of years ago. Hot, dry summer it was. And here at the castle, whenever our gardeners that summer heard that the man from the Environment Agency was going to pop round for one of his little checks, you could see them filling up buckets from the taps out there, coming in here, shutting water down the well, and as a result of their efforts, I'm very pleased to announce there was no inconvenient goods by the time well, that's the story I've been told. Right, we're coming up now to the climax of our demonstration. As you can see, Jill here is all of a quiver, champing at the bit, raring to go. Can't wait to do some work for you. And what she's going to do is, she's going to leap onto this wheel and turn it for you 2 times. In doing so, she will raise the bucket at the end of that rope up 20 feet. If she was doing it for real, she'd point in that direction. She'd turn the wheel 17 times to send the bucket all the way down to the water below. She'd then come back this way, turn the wheel another 17 times to bring a full bucket of water all the way up. Now that process would take Jigsaw, our hardest working donkey, about 10 minutes. It would take a man about 20 minutes. It would take Jack, our laziest donkey, an hour, 2 hours, 3. I've never had the time to find out. But let's see our Jill gives a couple of turns. Are you ready to come? Good. Okay. There we go. As you can see, Jill is a paid-up member of the Donkey Union, which takes 2 turns of the wheel. That's it. I'm off. Where's my straw? But very good work from Jill. I think a round of applause. Very good work. Yes, very good. Right. I mentioned how deep this well is. 161 feet, 49 metres. Let's have a little listen. How long does it take to fall 49 metres? Here we go. It's a long way down. You do not want to fall down there. Then I can tell you, a lot of things have fallen down this well. We've had hats, we've had maps, we've had guidebooks, we've had children's teddy bears, we've had sunglasses, we've had spectacles, we've had cameras, mobile phones, and last but not least, we've had 2 sets of false teeth. So if you are looking down, could I ask you to hold them very tightly to your personal bits and bobs? Thank you. Right, that almost brings us to the end of our little demonstration. However, Jill has asked to have the last word, which is that if you are going to pop down to the shop, sign up as members of English Heritage, get your card that gives you access to 420 historic properties, and get the money you paid to enter the castle which they return to you. Yes, as a cash incentive. She'll say, can you mention her name? Because we're having a little competition among the donkeys, and he or she who gets the most mentions, there's a few carrots in it for them. So there we go. Thank you very much indeed for coming to see us. Do enjoy the rest of your visit and come and see us again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh dear. Great card, okay.
Yes, sir.
Is that an original bucket on there?
No, that's a beer barrel, I'm afraid. The original bucket, long since disintegrated, I would have thought.
So does it ever bring up water?
Sorry?
That all fell down.
Yes, but you're nothing down there, yeah. Sorry?
Does it ever bring up water?
Yes, if you wanted
If she'd
to.
gone further,
You get done full 17 turns.
I thought 17